back. Okay, so we're going through this 10th chapter. And we heard how the Dichi agreed to give up his body. And so then the chapter goes on, describes the Dichi's process of giving up the body, similar to what Dhritarashtra used in the first canto. So also the Dichi, they were to give up his body, and Indra gets a thunderbolt, weapon made by Vishwakarma. And so Indra is feeling very confident on his elephant Airavata. They're all ready, the demigods are ready to go out again and fight with the demons. So it happened at the end of Satya Yuga, the beginning of Treta Yuga, a fierce battle took place between the demigods and the demons on the banks of the Narmada. So we're told this Narmada, this is in the heavenly planet, not on this planet, not on this earth. There is a Narmada on this earth, but this is referring to Narmada on the higher planets. So this battle took place a long time ago. We're now in the 28th millennium. So 120 million years have passed since the battle took place on the bank of the river Narmada.
Long battle.
Okay, so all the different demigods and demons have all come. Hundreds and thousands of demons, demi-demons, yakshas, rakshasas, so many, all different demons. So, and they've all got different weapons, and they've come armed with all their weapons, and they're all attacking from different directions. They throw all the weapons at them. The weapons are so many, it covered the whole sky. The stars in the sky cannot be seen because of all the weapons. But what do the demigods do? The demigods quickly cut the weapon into thousands of pieces while they're still in the sky. So the demigods had that power. They're so powerful and so expert, they nullified all these weapons, breaking them to pieces in the sky as before. And so when the demons saw this, and the demons were worried, the demons became afraid. The demigods were not injured because they could counteract all the weapons. So the demons are in trouble. The demigods are devotees of Krishna, and therefore the curse of the demons were futile. So the demigods were so powerful. And the asuras, who are never devotees of Krishna, they lost their pride in fighting when they found all their endeavors futile. So leaving aside their leader, even in the very beginning of the fight, they decided to flee because all their prowess had been taken away by the enemy.
But Maharaj, that time that these demons, they had the guru in the side. So why their power has been taken? They had their guru with them. Sukracharya was there still.
Yeah. But the demigods, they have Narayana Kavacha. They have the bonds of the Dichi. And so they have these things that protect them. So the weapons of the demons couldn't help them. Previously they had offended their guru. So that was why they got in trouble. because they had committed offense to the Guru. They haven't offended the Guru, the Guru's not there. Well, you could say they offended. Indra killed Vishvarup, right? But that was a long time ago. And he suffered for that. For 1 year, he did austerities, and then he gave away the karma, divided the karma among different people. So so the karma was already taken away for that killing of Vishvarup. He'd already overcome it. So now, they have a fight again. We're told at the beginning of the Treta Yuga, but the army, all the asuras, they're running from the battle, and only Vritrasura is there. All the other demons, they're running. They turned around and ran because they saw their weapons were not having any good, doing any good. They could not defeat the demigods. They could not even injure the demigods. So Vritrasura, he just stands there. And he sees all the other demons running, and he thinks, well, they're supposed to be Kshatriyas. What kind of behavior is this for a Kshatriya? So it says he spoke words which were appreciating to thoughtful men. He called to the heroes of the demons. Oh, Viprachiti, O Namuchi, Kuloma, Maya, Anarva, Sambar, please hear me, do not flee. They're running away from the battle. Anyway, Vritrasura is telling them, everyone who's taken birth has to die, as sure as death. So why are you so worried? No one in this world can be saved from death.
Maharaj, this Vritrasura, his father Tosta, when he did sacrifice for, he wanted one demon to kill Indra. That was his motive. So Vritrasura, how he became a devotee? Why he is devotee?
From his previous life. He is born in the demon family, but from his previous life, he's a devotee. He carried his devotion, because whatever bhakti, whatever devotion you can't lose that. That's eternally in your bank account.
It is there, but his father Tosta wanted one demon who can kill Indra.
So he's a demon. No, but he chanted the mantra wrong. Right? Father got the mantra wrong. And he got somebody who was Indra's enemy. Was it? He gave birth to someone who was Indra's enemy. But he's a devotee. Although he's born in a demon body. So we're going to hear. So he's preaching to them, and he's telling them, we're all going to die anyway. Why are you so worried about it? Death is inevitable. Better to die a suitable death, a glorious death, right? You should want to die what is a glorious death?
Die on the battlefield. For a Kshatriya to die on the battlefield.
Yes, right. To die on the battlefield for a Kshatriya, that's and not just die on the battlefield, but you should die going forward. You shouldn't be going back. If you die on your back, that's not good. You should die going forward. That's the Kshatriya code. That's the glorious death. So Prabhupada's purport, if by dying one can be elevated to the higher planetary system and be ever famous after his death, who is so foolish that he will refuse such a glorious death? So, glorious death. Everyone should be ready to die while performing glorious deeds. A glorious person is not meant to meet death like cats and dogs. So, of course, Lord Krishna was preaching about this in Bhagavad Gita also. So then, the two ways to meet death, glorious death. One is after performing mystic yoga, especially Bhakti yoga, by which one can control the mind and living force and die absorbed in thought of the Supreme Personality. In 4th Canto you read about Maharaj Prithu, right? How he departed from the world, right? He departed in sound, he was sound physically and mentally, but he gave up the body because he thought, I'm old now, the body's coming to, it's time to, he'd gone off to the forest and he was in the forest doing some austerity, and he was doing great austerity. First he was eating only the fruit or whatever grows in the forest, and then he was eating only dry leaves, then he was just drinking water, and then he was just living on air. Just living on air. So he was doing like that, and then finally he gave up the body because he was preparing himself for death. Right? Prepare for death. So you can do it by yoga. Better to die like that than to die in a hospital with tubes, so many things sticking to you, you know, put you in the ICU and you pay $1 a day or something, you know, to be in the ICU. You don't want to die like that, you know, that's terrible, you know. Prabhupada said, don't give me to the doctors. Prabhupada said. We had this one girl, she's a doctor, you know. She was so sad. You know? I was quoting Prabhupada, telling Prabhupada said, don't give me to the doctor. She was a doctor. Oh, Krishna. Didn't like it. Anyway, so this is a glorious death. Mystic yoga. Die like that, absorbed in thinking of Krishna. And the other way, the second, to die on the battlefield. Tamal Krishna Goswami was saying to Prabhupada, we're going to take you to the West, Prabhupada, take you back to America, back to the devotees in America are all fired up. They'll be so happy if you come back to America, Prabhupada. Take you back. And Prabhupada said, yes. He said, I want the pleasure of dying on the battlefield. To die on the battlefield is glorious. So here, the second glorious death, die on the battlefield, leading the army, never showing one's back. Two kinds of death are glorious. There's a picture in the palace of Jaipur. Kshatriyas are fighting. Two Kshatriyas are fighting. And one Kshatriya's got the sword, and the other Kshatriya is putting the sword into the belly of the Kshatriya. But the other Kshatriya is going forward to hit the other Kshatriya. Even though the sword is in his belly, he's still going forward trying to hit the other Kshatriya. Prabhupada said, yes, that is Kshatriya. They will die going forward. They cannot retreat. So, like that, Krishna consciousness, the battlefield, preaching Krishna consciousness. Okay? So We'll go on to the next chapter. Transcendental qualities of Vritasura. Chapter 11. How many days have we got to finish this section?
Today and tomorrow.
Just tomorrow, right?
No, tomorrow and after tomorrow.
Huh?
After
Friday and Saturday.
Huh?
Friday and Saturday. And Sunday.
Exam is on Sunday, as far as I
But
remember.
classes are tomorrow and Saturday.
Saturday also.
Each module has 5 classes. So I'll tell you exactly. Just
Ah, 50.
Rob will try to finish it
Yes.
quicker.
Yes, finish it, Maharaj.
By tomorrow you can finish.
Huh?
You can by tomorrow.
We'll
you
try
can
to finish it by tomorrow. Let's see. Because,
Saturday will have off.
27 more verses only today.
huh?
This chapter is going to be 27 verses.
Yeah, it's not a long chapter.
So you can finish.
It's not a long chapter.
Maharaj, if we can finish early, then we can have test early, then we can, that intense schedule can be slackened, no?
Yeah, right. No, I agree. We'll try to, let's see what's going on anyway. Here we are, chapter 11. Again, Sukadeva Goswami speaking. So Vritrasura, we're going to hear how he speaks to the demons, right? Because what has happened? They've come out on the battlefield and they're supposed to be heroes, supposed to be Kshatriyas, and they're supposed to, never retreat, but they ran away from, they're fleeing, they're disturbed by fear. So Vritrasura is speaking to them about the religious principles. But the demons are so disturbed, they could not accept his words because they're so eager to save their flesh, to save their life. And the demigods also didn't do much better. What do the demigods do? They start to attack the demons at the back. The demons are running away from the battlefield, and the demigods are at the back trying to get them, kill them when they're running away. So that's very bad also. If somebody is running away, let them go, they've lost their name, why should you take the trouble to kill them? But this is what the demigods are doing. So Vritrasura, he sees both the demons and the demigods, and he sees the faults in both of them. And so he's going to preach to both of them. So Vritrasura is described as Indra Shatru, the enemy of Indra. So he saw the demigods and he's speaking to the demigods. He's angry at the demigods for their behavior. And so he's speaking to them first. And he says to them, "O demigods, these demoniac soldiers have taken birth uselessly. Indeed, they have come from the bodies of their mothers, exactly like stew. What is the benefit of killing such enemies from behind while they are running in fear?" If you kill an enemy who's afraid of losing his life, that killing is never glorious. And it cannot promote you to the heavenly planets. So Vritrasura is criticizing both the demigods and the demons. Yeah, he's saying, these demoniac soldiers, the demons, they've taken their birth uselessly. because they're running away from the battle. That's not proper. So, a hero never runs from the field of battle. The other example is here. Here they're described to be like the stool of the mother. Another time it's described that the son is like, well, you say there's putra and mutra, right? Putra means the son. Put means one. Put is the name of a hellish planet, and putra means one who frees the father from going to hell. So the father wants a son who will be putra. The father thinks, I'm a fallen soul, I'll go to hell, but if I have a son, my son can save me from going to hell. So the son should be putra. But if the son is no good, then the father thinks, better mutra. Better I just pass urine. Urine is useless. Something useless coming from the body, waste from the body. And the father thinks, rather than have a son, better I just pass urine, because my son is not doing me any good. If he cannot deliver me from hell, then better I would just pass urine. So both cases say useless. A useless son. Well, that is Tulsidas who said like that. But the child in the urine. From Tulsidas.
No, Maharaj, here it is said that he is not only he will deliver for him, but one thing also is there. If he is established in materialist world also, that is useful. In that way it is said, no? Here.
If he's established in the material world,
11:4. Who is glorious, neither glorious nor devotee. This glorious means what?
glorious. Well,
this sloka actual meaning it is given. And before this sloka, that this paragraph, it is said that Tulsidasa who commented that a son and urine both came from the same channel.
yeah.
Semen and urine both come from the genitals, but semen produces child, whereas urine produces nothing. Therefore, if a child is neither a hero nor a devotee, means if he is a hero in the material world, then also it is useful, isn't it?
Well, the hero was in the sense on the battlefield, right? They're talking about the battlefield, they're Kshatriyas.
Those who are not Kshatriyas?
Well, those who are not Kshatriyas, heroes, they won't be heroes, right? Hero is not really, it's only the Kshatriyas who have that heroistic quality. You're not expected, there are certain qualities for Brahmanas, there are certain qualities for the Vaishya and Sudra. Hero is not expected in any other people other than Kshatriya. The Kshatriyas are the ones who are supposed to be heroes.
What is the meaning of hero?
Well, hero means that you're going to do something great. You're going to save others. Of course, you could say, well, Vaishnavas, they save others. But anyway,
Everybody is hero in their field.
in this particular case, we're talking about the Kshatriya, right? The hero. So Vritrasura, the demons, the demigods, they're supposed to show heroic qualities. But, the demons are running, they're afraid for their life, And the demigods are trying to kill them and they're running away. So that's not heroic to do like that. Neither side is hero.
In Bhagavad Gita 18:43, there are qualities of Kshatriya has been described. And the first quality is Shauryam, and Shaurya it can be translated as a heroism.
Yes. Kshatriyas. Chivalry, they must be very bold and brave, courageous. You don't expect Brahmanas to be like that, no? Or Vaishyas or Sudras. These are the qualities. Then they give another, what is the use of a son who's neither glorious nor devoted to the Lord? Such a son is like a blind eye, which simply gives pain, but cannot help one see. So at least that's a bit better. Neither glorious nor devoted to the Lord. So if you're devoted to the Lord, that's very good. So Vritrasura is speaking out to the demigods. He said, if you have faith in your heroism, if you have patience in the course of your hearts, and if you are not ambitious for sense gratification, please stand before me for a moment. So 3 conditions he's asking, right? Faith in your heroism, patience, and then not ambitious for sense gratification. Of course they are. They are ambitious for sense gratification. But Vritrasura is challenging them, stand before me. But he thought, before they had run away from Vritrasura. Now it's the demons who are running away. But Vritrasura said, I am not so evil-minded as to kill persons who are neither heroic nor willing to fight. The demigods are doing like that. He is rebuking them. What kind of behavior is this? You're not following the codes of the Kshatriya to kill people who are running away from the fight. Very bad. So Vritrasura, the angry and most powerful hero, terrified the demigods with his stout and strongly built body. When he roared with a resounding voice, nearly all living entities fainted. You can just imagine how powerful. When all the demigods heard Vritrasura's tumultuous roar, which resembled that of a lion, they fainted and fell to the ground as if struck by thunderbolts. So Vritrasura is so terrifying.
Are these poetic descriptions or did it really happen?
Yeah, it really happened.
Like, if everybody fainted, then why was the war happening?
Well, they got up again. They clapped for a moment.
Like what's that?
They closed their eyes and didn't look at it. You don't look at it. And Vritrasura takes up his trident, and the earth trembles. He tramples the demigods beneath his feet the way a mad elephant hollows bamboos in the forest. So there are no purports in this section, practically. It's all just verses.
Yeah.
So Indra, the king of heaven, he saw this, he became intolerant. It was too much for Indra to see all this. Vritrasura is trampling over the demigods. So Indra threw one of his great clubs, extremely difficult to counteract. However, as the club flew towards him, Vritrasura easily caught it with his left hand. Right? Usually we're right-handed, but just to show contempt for it, you know, caught it with the left hand, the dirty hand, right? And then, what does he do with the club? Vritrasura takes that club and he strikes the head of the elephant, Indra's elephant, Airavata, making a tumultuous sound on the battlefield. For this heroic deed, the soldiers on both sides glorified him. Struck with the club, Vritrasura, struck with the club by Vritrasura, the elephant Airavata, feeling great pain, spitting blood from his broken mouth, was pushed back 14 yards. You know, when we see these elephants, just like we have these elephants here, could you imagine pushing one back 14 yards? You know, they're so big and so powerful, so heavy. Push them back. The elephant fell with Indra on its back. Airavata, bleeding, spitting blood. Of course, Indra is there, and Indra, he has power, and so he refrained of, well, Vritrasura sees how Indra and his carrier have been harmed, and Vritrasura stops fighting with them, he stops hitting them. But Indra takes that opportunity to touch the elephant with his nectar-producing hand and relieves the elephant's pain and curing its injury. Then the elephant and Indra both stood silently. So they're both silent, they're stunned what to do, you know, they've just been humiliated. Indra threw his club and Vritrasura took it and smashed Airavata and broke his mouth. But Indra could repair everything. And so Vritrasura saw Indra, his enemy, standing before him with a thunderbolt in his hand, desiring to fight. So Vritrasura, he starts to remember, he's going to say things to Indra to really humiliate him. He says, remembering how Indra had cruelly killed his brother. Right? Who was his brother? Vishwarup, right? So, thinking of Indra's sinful activities, he became mad with lamentation and forgetfulness. Laughing sarcastically, he spoke as follows. And this is Vritrasura saying, he who has killed a Brahmana, he who has killed his spiritual master, indeed, he who has killed my brother, is now, by good fortune, standing before me, face to face, as my enemy. O most abominable one, when I pierce your heart with my trident, I shall be freed from my debt to my brother. So, Vritrasura is speaking like this. He wants Indra to know how he feels. He wants to create the battle, actually. Vritrasura, you hear, Vritrasura doesn't mind, he wants to die, he wants to be killed. And he knows that Indra's got that weapon to kill him. He knows they've got this Brahma weapon. So, Vritrasura is eager to get out of that demon body. So he's speaking to Indra in this way. He's recalling his activity, his sinful activity. And why did Indra do this? So Vritrasura is reminding him, I know why you did it. Vritrasura said, just for the sake of living in the heavenly planets, you killed my elder brother, who was self-realized, sinless, and a qualified Brahmana, who you had appointed as your chief priest. He was your guru, but although you entrusted him to do your sacrifice, you later mercilessly cut his heads from the body, just the way one butchers an animal. Yet it's not a very nice thing, cut people's heads off, is it? We consider it, very horrible. So Indra did that. He cut off the 3 heads of Vishwarupa. So then Vritrasura says to Indra, you are bereft of all shame, mercy, glory, and good fortune. You are to be condemned even by the man-eaters. It's really heavy, insulting words, You're condemned even by the man-eaters. At one point Indra is in heaven, he's being worshipped by all the demigods and now this demon is coming and he's telling Indra, you're like this, you did that, and you're not even worthy of the man-eaters. Now I shall pierce your body with my trident, and after you die with great pain, even fire will not touch you, only the vultures will eat your body. So this is Indra's words this is Vritrasura's words to Indra.
Actually, the Parsis have a tradition of giving to the vultures.
Yeah, they do that. Parsis will feed the body to vultures. Yeah.
Parsis are same as Judaism?
No.
Zoroastrians.
Zoroastrians.
Zoroastrians, yeah, they come originally from Tehran, right? From
Persia.
Huh?
Persia.
Persia. Yeah. They came to India, they're refugees, right? But they're very rich, right? Usually.
It's like opposite. Either they are too rich or too poor.
Sorry, what is that?
Either they are too rich or too poor.
But they are very rare.
The Sindhis are Parsis?
No, Sindhis are.
Sindhis are Sindhis.
These are Hindus.
Marge, we had a Farsi lady on our one of our other courses, Zoroastrian, and she was explaining that their main source of worship is yajnas and worshipping the sun. So she said that it's very in that sense it's very connected to Sanatana Dharma, and the body, because the fire is pure and they worship the fire, it's not good enough to put on a dead body.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why.
Fire is pure. Now we have some devotees from Parsi.
There are many.
Some devotees.
Many.
Many devotees.
Yeah. I know some exemplary devotees from Parsi group.
Initiated?
Yes.
Good. Alright, so Vritrasura is telling Indra what he thinks of him. He said, you are naturally cruel. Other demigods, unaware of my prowess, follow you by attacking me with raised weapons. I shall sever their heads with this sharp trident. With those heads I shall perform a sacrifice to Vaibhava and the other leaders of the goats, along with their hordes. So, this is what Vritrasura is threatening to do. But if in this battle you cut off my head, with your thunderbolt and kill my soldiers, O Indra, I shall take great pleasure in offering my body to other living entities, like the jackals and vultures. I shall thus be relieved of my obligations to the reactions of my karma, and my fortune will be to receive the dust from the lotus feet of great devotees like Narada Muni. So this is very nice. Vritrasura was describing on one hand, if I do this, if I cut the heads off, well, I'm going to do a big sacrifice for Bhairava. But, said, you've got the thunderbolt weapon, if you cut off my head, you can feed it to jackals and vultures. I don't mind. He said, I will get free of my karma. And I will be able to get the dust from great devotees like Narada Muni. Why does he mention Narada Muni?
Because Narada Muni was the reason why he became a devotee.
Chitraketu Maharaj.
Hmm?
Chitraketu Maharaj, he was guided by Narada Muni and the Parvat Muni or Angira.
Right. Yeah. So, from previous life, right? From his previous. Echai Gosai Mui Taradas Tansabara Palarenum Mora Pankagras. Nantam Das Thakur sings. I am the servant of the Goswamis, and the dust of the lotus feet provides my 5 kinds of food. So we want to get that padarenu, that dust from the feet of the great devotees. Vritrasura knew he was going to be killed because it was the desire of Lord Vishnu. And he was prepared to die because he knew after death he was going to go back to Godhead. So he got the mercy of a Vaishnava. Prabhupada said the words, Manas Vinam Padaraja Prapatsye. I shall receive the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees. Manas Vinam means great devotee, like Narada Muni. If one gets the dust of the lotus feet of a Manas feet, a great devotee, he certainly returns home, back to God. And Prabhupada said the best example of such a devotee is Narada Muni. How do we get the dust from the feet of a great devotee?
By following their instructions.
By
following their instructions.
Following their instruction. No other way?
Physically.
By serving them physically, following the instructions, inquiring from them.
Are we allowed? You never get the dust in that way. Nobody will let you take the dust.
I normally do it once they've walked off, then whatever they've left behind, take the dust. But not directly touching their feet.
No. You think it will work? Huh? Will it work that way? Take the dust from the ground where they walked.
Yes.
People would do that with Lord Chaitanya, right? They would take there would be holes in the road wherever they walked. They would take all the dust.
Charanamrita is also the same technology.
Charanamrita.
It's the same technology. You're washing the feet of the devotee.
Yeah. But usually that water is just put on the head. It's not drunk. Put on. Oh, here, what does it say? Take the dust. It said, I shall receive the dust. Where do you take it? What do you do with it, with the dust?
On the head.
Huh?
The head.
On the head, on the forehead.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's literal. What does Jatbarat say?
Who?
Jatbarat.
Jatbarat.
He says,
Padara Jodhishaka. Ahimsam Padara Jodhishaka.
Ho Ganaitat Tapasara.
take the dust, where should you put it? Smear it all over your body. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Take the dust, smear it all over your body. So, the dust, instructions, yes, that is the actual dust. Prabhupada said, don't touch my feet. He said, better you bring me my slippers. Don't just touch the feet. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati also didn't like people who just touch the feet. He said, do you think you have a right to touch the feet? Are you qualified to touch the feet? Is it for you to just come and touch the feet? And Prabhupada would say, nobody should touch my feet. Of course, you go to Bangladesh, everybody will touch your feet, you know. You go to Bangladesh, very common. So, Vritrasura wants to encourage Indra to be eager to kill him. He said, why don't you throw your thunderbolt at me now? Your attack upon me with your club was useless. Like asking money from a miser. Asking money from a miser. The thunderbolt you carry will not be useless. You should have no doubt about this. So he's got that thunderbolt. Indra has not used the thunderbolt yet. Indra's attack was a failure and his elephant got injured. So Indra now, he's got the thunderbolt to throw against Vritrasura. So Indra may be thinking the thunderbolt may also fail. So Vritrasura is encouraging him, no, the thunderbolt will be successful. Vritrasura knew it had been prepared under the instructions of Lord Vishnu. Vritrasura understood Vishnu's purpose. He was eager to be killed. Vritrasura was eager to be killed by the thunderbolt, according to Lord Vishnu's instruction. So he was waiting for the opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. So Prabhupada writes, Vritrasura is telling Indra, if you want to kill me, since I am your enemy, take this opportunity, kill me. You will gain victory and I shall go back to Godhead. Your deed will be equally beneficial for both of us. Do it immediately. Right? What will happen to Indra? What does he want?
Material opulence.
Huh?
He wanted material opulence, again kingdom back.
He wants to remain in heavenly planets, right? He wants to be the king of heaven. He wants to enjoy the opulence of the heavenly planets. And Vritrasura, what will happen to him when he gets killed?
He will go back to Godhead.
Yeah, he's going to go back to Godhead. So who's going to win the battle? Vritrasura, right? He's going to get the real benefit by being killed in the battle. He's going to get free from the... Just like when Gajendra was fighting with a crocodile, right? Lord Vishnu came, and what happens? He cuts the throat of the crocodile. So was Gajendra happy? Gajendra said, well, I called you, I was the one who called for you, you killed him. You should have killed me. I'm still in this dumb body. the big elephant body, it would have been better you killed me. I still have to be, now I'm still here in this elephant body. You liberated that crocodile, I'm still stuck here in this elephant body. Crocodile got liberated. Why did the crocodile get liberated?
Catching hold of a feet of a devotee.
Yeah, it had the feet of a devotee. Gajendra's foot holding onto his leg. So the thunderbolt you carry, that has the prowess of Lord Vishnu and the strength of the Dichi's austerities. You come here to kill me according to Lord Vishnu's order. There's no doubt I shall be killed by this thunderbolt. Vritrasura was eager to die with the stroke of the thunderbolt sent by Lord Vishnu, so that he could immediately return home back to Godhead. By killing Vritrasura, Indra would not actually gain, he would remain in the material world. Vritrasura, however, would go to the spiritual world. Therefore, victory was destined for Vritrasura, not for Indra. And here, Vritrasura speaks about fixing my mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Sankarshan. I shall attain the destination of such great sages as Narada Muni, just as Lord Sankarshan has said. So why Sankarshan? In his previous
Because
life.
Chitraketu was the companion of Sankar.
Yeah. So Vritrasura, he knows his destination. He is fixing his mind. Prabhupada said, a devotee is always ready to give up his material body, which is described here as Gramya Pasha, the rope of material attachment. The body is not at all good, simply a cause of bondage. So surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord. Material opulence, any of the divisions, his possessions, and they just bring us unhappiness. So much endeavor to increase our possessions, and we just suffer great unhappiness when we lose them. You work so hard to get money, buy a house, like that, but eventually, the whole thing crumbled. We try to make a comfortable situation for ourselves, but we cannot maintain it for any length of time. So Vritrasura, he had understood all that, he'd come through all that. He'd had material possessions. In his previous life, he had been a king, and he'd been the king of the Vijayadaras. He was traveling with so many beautiful women. And so he's been through all kinds of difficulties and troubles in the material world. So he knows the nature of these possessions. So Prabhupada talks about material possessions. He said, for a devotee, sometimes Krishna will arrange to give us what we need. But for the karmi, they want things for their sense gratification. The karmi is working very hard to get wealth, to buy things, and he's thinking he will become rich and comfortable, and other people will envy him. And a devotee doesn't worry about material possessions, but people will give them anyway. You get them for the preaching, to use them for the service of Krishna. So Prabhupada said, a karmi's possessions are karma, but those of a devotee are arranged by Krishna, just to facilitate devotional activities. A devotee never uses material possessions for any purpose other than service of Krishna. Possessions of a devotee are not compared to those of a karmi. People envy devotees sometimes. Oh, you devotees, you've got such nice cars. Devotee has nice car, or some, oh, devotee, you're traveling in an airplane. But we're only doing it for the service of Krishna. Krishna arranges it for his service, not for our sense gratification.
Maharaj, like as a grihastha, you sometimes desire to have a good house to live.
Good house to live.
Good house to live, with things in the house.
Well, it's all relative. What you consider a good house may not, what somebody else may not think is a good house. Or what you think is a good house, it may be a very opulent house, Maybe you think, why do you have to have such a good house? You can have a more simpler house. It's all relative. We should take what is achieved naturally by our honest endeavor, without over endeavor. Be satisfied with what is arranged by the grace of Krishna. Not that, I always have to, it's not enough, no, I have to have a better house than this, no, I can't live here, this is not good enough for me, you have to be practical, you have to see what Krishna provides and be satisfied. That's important, that's the quality of a Brahmana. Brahmana is satisfied. Krishna may give, Krishna may not. If he doesn't give, okay, I'm not worthy of anything else. Krishna just gives me according to my qualification. Just be satisfied.
What if the wife is not satisfied?
You have to train your wife, control her mind. She has to learn to be satisfied. Why she's not satisfied? Why she always has to have more? You have to tell her, just be happy chanting Hare Krishna, serving Krishna. Be happy for what you've got. Don't worry what you've not got. See what you've got. Don't just be happy for that. Don't be always thinking, no, it's not enough, I need more. You have to preach to her. You have to encourage her. Not to listen to the mind.
One sari at the end.
Huh?
One sari at the end.
After explaining, because
It's better that you stay brahmachari. You're right. She's asking for hours and getting a sari. Not gonna work out.
So Vritasura is speaking, O Indra, one can thus infer how kind the Lord is. Such mercy is obtainable only by unalloyed devotees, not by persons who aspire for material gain. Right? Vritasura was saying the Lord forbids his devotees to endeavor uselessly for religion, economic development, sense gratification. We're prohibited to endeavor for these things. But Prabhupada writes, the special mercy for the unalloyed devotee is the Lord saves him from hard labor to achieve the results of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. If you want these things, Krishna can give you that, but you won't get pure devotion. Indra, although a devotee, was not much interested in release from material bondage. Instead, he wanted sense gratification, a higher standard of material happiness in the heavenly planets. So, Indra had material desires, but Vritrasura, he just wants service. And he wants ultimately that he will be killed by Indra, he can get free of his body, and he will go back to God. You know, you get some women, there was this one woman, she married this very rich man in Taiwan. She told him, I will marry you, but first you have to give away 90% of your wealth. Because the man who was so rich, he had so much money, said, I don't want to be married to such a rich man. You give away your wealth in charity, then I will marry you. You know? Yeah. And it's a rare woman, of course. But you get women like that, you know, you do get some ladies like that, not so, they want to be simple, you know, live simply, your mind is more peaceful. The more you think about improving your living standards, the more agitated, the more disturbed you become, the more influenced by passion.
Extravagance is the cause of distress.
Yes. The more the passion leads to distress. So here you can see the mood here of Vritrasura. Das anudaso bhavitasmi bhuya. I shall become the servant of the seven. Well, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants, who find shelter only at your lotus feet? So this is the mood of Vritrasura. You have to engage. Body, mind and words. Body should be engaged. Use everything in the service of Krishna. Body, mind and words. And Vritrasura says, I don't want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. So that's the mood of pure devotion. Devotee is happy to serve Krishna in any condition. Okay, so are there some questions on this? Let me see, where are the questions? Oh, Krishna. What's my questions? Have you got the question book there? Where are the questions on this?
Yeah. What does one need to go back to Godhead? 18 verse.
What does one need to go back to? Is that the first question?
Yes. In chapter 11.
Second question.
Verse 18.
18. What does one need to go back to Godhead? Anyone remember?
Yes.
Dust from the lotus
From the
feet of
lotus
God.
feet of God.
Oh,
Grace of the Vaishnava.
if we don't have the dust from the lotus feet of a devotee, we can't go back to Godhead, huh?
Grace of the Vaishnava. Chariya Vaishnav Seva Anistar Payase Keva.
What does it mean?
Means without serving the Vaishnava, who has got liberation?
Okay. Yeah.
This last 4 line. Chariya Vaishnav Seva, last but 3.
Sadhya Vaishnava Seva. Okay. Another question?
How did Vritrasura know Indra's thunderbolt would be successful?
Huh?
How did Vritrasura know that Indra's thunderbolt would be successful?
How did Vritrasura know that the thunderbolt would be successful? And where's the answer?
1920.
19 and 20, and it's because Vritrasura was a Vaishnava and he knew the thunderbolt had been made according to the instructions of Lord Vishnu and could not fail.
Vritrasura was what?
Vaishnava.
He was a Vaishnava, so he knew that the thunderbolt had been made according to the instructions of Lord Vishnu, so it wouldn't fail.
Okay.
And it was created by the deity's austerities.
Mhm. Yeah. Some more questions? Yeah.
Krishna.
Explain who was the real winner. Was in the fight between Indra and Vrittasura.
Who are the real winners?
By killing Vrittasura, Indra would not actually gain. He would remain in the material world. Vrittasura, however, would go to the spiritual world. Therefore, victory was destined for Vrittasura, not for Indra.
Okay.
Then, what is the most important duty at the time of death? 21.
What is the most important duty at the time of death?
The most important duty at the time of death is to concentrate one's mind. If one can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, Vishnu, Shankarsana or any Vishnu Murti, his life will be successful.
Jai. Fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. We have to practice that. Yeah? Any other questions?
Yes, compare the Lord's rewarding Indra with his rewarding Vrittasura. Comparison.
The Lord's rewarding Indra with his rewarding Vritasura. Okay, that's easy enough. Yeah? Indra got rewarded, he got his heavenly position, he got to be the king of heaven, to stay in heaven.
He's going to rot in the material world.
Huh?
So I think it's written then he rots in the material world even though
Okay.
he's victorious.
And Vritasura goes back to Godhead. Yeah?
Then again one comparison, possession, compare the possessions of a preacher with those of a karmi.
Yes?
From the purport. A karmi's possessions are achieved as a result of karma, but those of a devotee are arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead just to facilitate his devotional activities.
Yeah.
Because a devotee never uses material possessions for any purpose other than the service of the Lord, the possessions of a devotee are not to be compared to those of a karmi.
Right. Okay.
Next, what special mercy does the Lord bestow upon his unalloyed devotees? 23. The special mercy for the unalloyed devotee is that the Lord saves him from hard labor to achieve the result of religion, economic development and sense gratification.
Okay, good.
That is 23. And last, in his purport to text 24, how does Srila Prabhupada explain what it means to be a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna? What does it mean? 24.
This means that one must accept a spiritual master who comes in the disciplic succession and is a servant of the Lord. Under his direction one must engage. One must then engage one's three properties, namely the body, mind and words. The body should be engaged in physical activity under the order of the spiritual master. The mind should think of Krishna incessantly, and one's word should be engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord. If one is thus engaged in the loving service of the Lord, one's life is successful.
Yeah, good.
Is okay, that's all. These are all the questions in chapter 8.
Okay.
We are past.
Not very difficult questions. No? Okay. So we'll go on tomorrow.
We can finish it.
I think
12 and 13.
Yeah, 12 and 13.
Good arrangement.
Hmm?
That is why it's Saturday. Because in his previous birth, Chitraketu, he was before when Narayana reached to birth, he was the association of Sankrishna.
He proved.
As a Vidyarthi. Krishna, Krishna. Sweet box. Hari.
At least I have someone.
He's actually at least better. Good choice. Stay safe.